Lawrence-125th birthday celebration here on the 9th day of September 1978. I'm Dave Scott, and along with Bruce Arnold, we'll be spending the afternoon and the evening here on Lawrence's Campagnon Memorial Common. We'll be broadcasting with you all of the activities right through until after midnight tonight. Maybe what we might do is go back over some of the activities that have already taken place. For instance, yesterday, 8 dignitaries here, the congressman was here. And what they did was have a very large cocktail party and a lot of fun until about 6 o'clock. And that officially kicked off Lawrence's celebration of 125 years. And the dignitaries that were gathered at City Hall came here to the Lawrence Common. And at 6 o'clock, we officially kicked things off. Greetings from the mayor, a letter which was sent to President Carter, and which could have said officially, "Happy birthday, Lawrence." And it started the night, was just packed and a lot of fun. We estimate roughly around 1,000 people that were here common for last night. We had the banjo band that did some entertaining players, Lawrence's own groups here, and they did some music from Godspell. Then the Mandela Folk Dance Ensemble, and I have never seen folk dancing to the degree of last night. They covered every country that you can imaginably think of that has a good folklore and background in folk dancing, the United States as well, and put on quite a show for about an hour, and we had a number of people watching that. And then the Melodia Latin Band performed right through until about 10:30 last night. So you can see there were many activities kicking off the official celebration of Lawrence's 125th.
Sound like a very interesting evening. Today, of course, we're going to get started here very shortly. As we look over the schedule, there's going to be a concert here, the Musicians Union concert, and this ought to be great. A pie eating contest.
Yeah, I'm going to be standing up. See, I have the honor, and I do consider it an honor to act as master of ceremonies for all the day's events during the celebration, and so I'm going to get involved a little bit. As per the update show, we're going to get ourselves involved.
They're not going to throw anything at you.
I hope not. At least they've told me that they weren't going to.
There's a pet show. Our old friend Teddy Meisner will be
Doggy
here.
Daddy.
Yeah.
You know, just to give you a rundown of what's here on the Common, all right, by way of explanation of exactly who's going to be here. Behind our main stage, which is located toward the Jackson Street side of the Common, there is a mini stage, and on that mini stage will be a variety of demonstrations going on throughout the day. That's where Ted Meisner will be holding a dog show. We had last night a gymnastics demonstration. Later on today there'll be a karate demonstration, and that'll all be happening on the mini stage, which is located directly behind the main stage area here on the Common.
All right, now there's another thing called the bubble gum contest. My goodness.
I'm really not quite sure what that is, to be very honest. I've heard that we're going to see a lot of people chewing a lot of bubble gum, and then we'll just have to play it by ear. Let any senior citizens that may be watching us know that tonight at 4 o'clock at the senior are only 50 cents, and they are only for senior citizens. So if you are a senior citizen and you're watching us now, I might suggest that you make plans on being down here at the Common, and for 50 cents they're putting on one heck of a spread. Bill Ammon is setting it all up on the Senior Citizen Center, which is located on Haverhill Street, directly across from the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common.
Another big afternoon in store as far as entertainment is concerned. The world-renowned, you could say, the Herb Platter. Herb reading the platters. It's too early, folks.
Herb reading the platters. You know, and when I think of Herb reading the platters, I think of Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, obviously. And I'm really looking forward to this afternoon for a couple of reasons. Number one, when I was so high and out going to dances and dating and into the whole rock and roll type thing that you go through as a teenager, okay? The Platters, for me, a group that was way up here, okay? And I watched it and just with fascination. And here now, a few years later, I have the opportunity of introducing them on stage and being with them and spending some time. And it's a real thrill for me. And I can guarantee that it will be a show. It's 2 hours long from 2 till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. A free concert on the Common, Herb Reed and the Platters. And I'm really looking forward to it, and I can guarantee it's a heck of a show.
Very interesting karate exhibition. Do you know karate at all?
No, I really don't. I saw a couple of weeks ago when I was on vacation. I saw the 5th world title holder, or the title holder number 5, I guess, in the world in a karate demonstration, and it was fascinating, but there's no way I'd like to become involved in it.
Okay, I've got to go off for
Okay, catch you a little later, if I can, all right? I'd like to remind you again that these broadcasts are being made possible by some very nice people who care that those of you out there that cannot make it down are able to view the festivities. and that the permanent record for the city's 125th anniversary be made. One of those persons is one of the oldest and largest insurance organizations in the Merrimack Valley. Business and personal insurance since 1867. The McCarthy Companies. They've made possible part of our broadcast today. The Arlington Trust Company here in Lawrence. Arlington Trust Company, the bank for all your banking services. And Nasser Ford. Don't forget to see Nasser Ford at 320 South Broadway, Route 28 in Lawrence. New Ford cars, trucks, and used cars. Also, being part of our activities today, Continental Cablevision. And we'll be broadcasting live here from the Campagnon Memorial Common right through until the festivities end tonight, which will be just about 11 o'clock, as a matter of fact, okay? So we'll be on the air until 12. I must remind you that we are about an hour delayed in broadcast time so that we can bring you all of the activities that are scheduled for today. And I do believe that the people that deserve the credit for not only today, but for last night, for all day today, tonight, and tomorrow, is a committee, the 125th Birthday Committee. It's made up of people that are citizens of the city of Lawrence, that are friends of the city of Lawrence, that have given an awful lot of time for about the past 6 months to put together this activity. You know, a lot of people say, oh, well, we have a big birthday celebration, and it's going to go on for a weekend. That's fine. So that means that Friday at about noontime you come down here and you set up, and then after that you close down Sunday 2 hours after the events are over. That's not the case by any means. This entire event has been about 6 months in the planning, and it has taken a lot of people, a lot of time, doing a lot of things to put together this activity. Now, throughout today's broadcast day, we're going to be talking to those people. Bruce, you're going to have the opportunity of visiting with many of the people that were, in fact, part of the activities in putting this together.
I was talking to Gene O'Neill a little earlier, and when we arrived on the scene this morning at about 6:30, he was here. In fact, he was here most of the evening. And right now, as I look over to my left here, he's walking around, and they're still building things here. A little later on, we're going to chat with Gene O'Neill. He is in charge of the 125th committee, and I was talking to him earlier, as I stated, and there's just been total cooperation from everyone. It's unbelievable. He had electric crews here all night long, and it's just one happy family, really.
As I was saying, it's not just a few people that put in a little bit of time to make something like this happen. There are so many little details, if you will, okay? All of the service organizations that have to be coordinated, the electric companies, the sound people, the lighting people. It's just amazing the way it can be put together, and I think as we go on during our broadcast day, you'll get a good idea of what it took to put together this celebration of Lawrence's 125th birthday. If you're just joining us, let me say to you, welcome. Welcome to the celebration of Lawrence's 125th birthday anniversary of incorporation as a city in the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Our broadcast today, right through until after midnight, will be here on the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common. You're invited down, of course. There's a lot of activities for all ages, and I think that's one thing that the committee is to be congratulated on. There are so many activities to cover all age groups, all interests, and anything you'd like to see that was a part of the city or is now a part of the city is going to be here. And I think that's very important because you're going to see a total picture of Lawrence. A little bit later, the Lawrence Public Library on the corner of Haverhill and Lawrence Streets is going to be open. They have some displays, an art show. They are going to take a look at the big strike of 1912. And we'll be telling you more about all of these events as our broadcast day goes. There's so many things that just, I could stand here and reel for an hour the activities that are planned.
And of course, you've mentioned already the without the help of some fine sponsors in the city of Lawrence, well, it just wouldn't have been possible for us to be televising here today. Continental Cablevision, of course. We have McCarthy Companies, one of the oldest and largest insurance organizations in the Merrimack Valley. In fact, business and personal insurance since 1867. Arlington Trust. They got a big green machine, you know.
Yeah,
you can go banking any time of the day.
24 hours a day.
You got it. We got McCartney's Men's Store. Third generation. It was founded by Robert J. McCartney and also Nasser Ford. You want a good deal on a car, of course. a 1978 or a 1979 Ford.
You know, 1979s are coming in fast.
True.
It's amazing how fast this past year has gone. It's been a good year. We've had a great opportunity here in Lawrence to meet with a number of people, various civic organizations and groups. If you've been a regular viewer, or we hope you will become a regular viewer of a program called Update, which is on the air here on Channel 3 on a weekly basis every Wednesday afternoon at 6:30 and again on Sunday at 11. And we're covering all types of subjects and topics that are of interest to Greater Lawrence people. And it's just been a fast year. Things have really gone very rapidly.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier the length of time that went into the planning of something like this here.
6 months.
That's right, and that's a long time.
I've been to a few of the meetings and I've watched everybody get together, and it's just fascinating, the cooperation, the pulling together that everybody has had in order to make this 125th a success.
Did we mention the thing about the race that's going to be taking place?
No, I haven't talked about the race yet.
The race. We've got a race coming. I think Governor Dukakis should be here.
The governor will be here this afternoon at 2 o'clock, along with the mayor and other state dignitaries. And they'll be here to award the trophies to the winners of the marathon race, which is taking place at 10 this morning. Starts in front of the YMCA. It's an AAU-sanctioned race. And the governor will be here this afternoon to make that award. Also, there are a lot of other things going on that will have awards. We have a disco contest going on stage here.
And the Gong Show.
And the Gong Show. From 6 until 8 tonight, we're going to stage our own Gong Show. And if you think you've seen acts on television, let me tell you, here on the Lawrence, as Ed McMahon would say, here on the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common, we have some acts planned on our Gong Show today that you will just not believe.
Maybe we could have a few of our crew do something.
I'd like to have a few of our crew do something, but no, in all seriousness, I think that in talking about the people it takes to put together this activity, Bruce and I are two people that you will see here on camera. You'll see us talking, and we'll be going across a number of activities. But in order for us to be here, there is a myriad of people out there behind the camera. Our cameramen, our directors, our audio people, our engineers, our runners. There's just so many people involved that make us look good, very frankly, and we appreciate that because that makes all the difference.
Yeah, people usually in front of the camera get all the credit, but we always like to, tell people what takes place behind the camera and behind the audio booth. And it's just, again, working hand in hand. We're all in this together, like.
Let me again remind you that what we're doing is broadcasting from the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common. And today is a very special day, the 9th day of September 1978. It is the weekend of the big 125th birthday celebration. And our CTV3 cameras will be here all day long. We'll be picking up all of the events around the Common. We'll be covering the events here on the stage. Like we said, Herb Reed and the Platters will be on later this afternoon. They'll be in concert from 2 until 4. And then from 8 until 11 tonight, two very good personal friends and just two fantastic entertainers, the Shaw brothers, Rick and Ron Shaw, RCA recording artists. They will be here on the Common. And remember, all of the events that have been scheduled here on the Common are free of charge to you by simply coming down. There's nobody standing at the front of the Common taking tickets or making you pass through a gate or asking for a donation or anything else. This is a completely free day. The whole weekend is that way.
Right. Speaking of the Shaw brothers, of course, when they perform, it's total involvement as far as the audience. They do quite a bit on the audience participation, which is very good. We're going to get blown away here, I think.
Yeah, what happened? I mean, it was supposed to be oh, no, there's the clear sky coming, okay? Clear sky is coming, the clouds are passing, and even though there's a little bit of wind, we'll weather it through.
It's not going to bother us, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people might be sitting out there saying, well, what's the weatherman say? What's the weather report? Last report I heard was that we were going to have a cool day. It was going to be partly cloudy or partly sunny, depending upon whether you're an optimist or a pessimist. And other than that, it's going to be a real good day. And we hope that you will join us. We'd like to say it's going to be partly sunny today. And we hope that you will make plans to come down here and join us on the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common as we celebrate birthday number 125 for the city of Lawrence. And we'll be talking throughout the day to all of the people that made it possible, that put it together, The mayor will be down, the city council. We'll have most of the city boards and people that'll be here, and we'll be able to talk to them about their involvement and their thoughts now on the city. I think yesterday at the cocktail party that began all the festivities over at City Hall, the one theme that seemed to ring true was that Lawrence has been a great city for 125 years. And Lawrence is now going to become a better city in the next 125 years. And I think that's the way to sum up exactly what's going on here on the Lawrence-Campagnon Memorial Common. It's kind of taking an era and putting it aside, learning from it, and then going from this point to the next 125.
You know, a lot of viewers are watching us in Methuen. We want everyone from Methuen to come on up here, too.
Well, this is not a celebration just for city residents, obviously. We expect somewhere around 10,000 people later on tonight because it's the free concerts and just the atmosphere and the friendship. Everybody's here to have a good time, and no matter where you're from, if you're watching us now down in Quincy, please feel free to come up and join us and have fun.
All in all, we have the first performance this morning, I believe, will be the Musicians Union, and they're going to have a concert.
They begin at 10 o'clock here on the Common Live.
And we'll be doing a few things with them. They almost have our booth ready down below there, Dave, and I'd like to get a hold of Gene O'Neill and chat with him for a few minutes. So why don't I go down there and see if I can get a hold of him now.
Okay, why don't you do that, and let me just run over a few things here. Once again, my name's Dave Scott. Along with Bruce Arnold, we will be here on Channel 3 throughout the day, right through to the concluding events at about 11 o'clock tonight. Now, from 2 until 4, Herb Reed and the Platters. From 8 until 11, Ron and Rick Shaw will be here. It's a day that has been well planned out. Right now, there is a pancake breakfast being held. So if you haven't had your breakfast as yet, maybe you'd like to come down and join us for breakfast. The Lawrence Lions Club, another civic and service organization here in Lawrence, is manning the food booth, and they're supplying the breakfast, a big pancake breakfast for the Lions Club. And our food booth is going to be open all day long, a big food tent, and we have that directly to the right of our stage area, so that if you, while you're here, want to stop for some refreshments, you can feel free to do so. There is beer and wine available for purchase, soft drinks and food. You'll see people throughout the common area selling balloons. And I'd like to say a couple of things, all right, because we had some thoughts last night about private vendors coming in and trying to sell at high prices. Well, let me assure you that that has not been the case, and I really believe that the committee putting together the 125th is to be well congratulated for covering all areas of concern. The people selling balloons here in the Lawrence Common are doing so to raise money for the Lawrence Magnet School System. And a little bit later on in the program, we're going to talk to some of the people from the Magnet School System, find out just what it is and how your purchase of a balloon is going to help that school system. So that there is a lot going on, all areas and all bases have been covered. Last night, Mayor Lawrence-125th, the present mayor of the city of Lawrence, brought greetings from the city council here to the citizens of Lawrence, and we hope to have him on air with us later, and we're going to talk a little bit about his feelings. You know, it must be very unique at this point to be in office at the time when a celebration such as this weekend is going on. This is the first time, really, that Lawrence as a city has joined together and done a major celebration. Now, we remember throughout Lawrence that there are various activities going on throughout the year. The big feast that happens every year at Labor Day, that's going on. Good afternoon. Don't let me stop you. All right, I'm televising here, so don't let me stop you. Anything you'd like to do, you go right ahead. I'll just move forward, okay? Okay. Why don't you grab one of the guys down there? They'll be happy to help you out, okay? All right. Very informal broadcast. As a matter of fact, you know, everything that's being done today is being kept as a permanent record. It will be placed in the archives of the city of Lawrence, and, well, we like to get people like the fine people at Mayflower on to join with us. Anybody who comes down during the day and visits us, we have our cameras set up here, so we hope that we're going to be able to get you, a little wave, a little hello, get your face on our videotape, which is going to be kept, saved for posterity. It's going to be put in the city archives, and 25 years from now, when the committee meets and gets together to plan birthday party 150, they'll probably be viewing the tapes to see what went on, what did we do, how did we handle it, did the people have fun? Well, I can tell you firsthand, because I was here last night, that those 2,000 some odd people that joined us here on the Common had fun. They had a great time. We had a ball last night. There was so much going on for the kids, all right? There's a carnival set up, some kiddie rides down at the far end of the Common at the Lawrence and Haverhill Street end of the Common. There are kiddie rides. You'll also find booths set up throughout the Common area, and this is, I think, very important. Lawrence is a melting pot in a sense. Lawrence has varied ethnic groups that have joined together to make one city and a very successful city. And because of that, it's quite important, I feel, that we know what those ethnic groups are made up of, what their background is, what, in effect, makes up Lawrence. Well, the entire Common area has been set aside for booths from various ethnic groups to give you just that, an idea of their background, what part they have played in the building of Lawrence, and what they're doing now, what their costumes in their native countries, the foods of native countries were. They're all going to be shown here on the Common. It has been a birthday celebration put together to give all of us, not only Lawrence residents, but residents from surrounding communities, a real true picture of what Lawrence was, what Lawrence is, and what Lawrence is going to be. It's a city that's growing. And 25 years from now, when someone stands here as Master of Ceremonies for the 150th birthday celebration, we hope that they're saying the very same thing. That this is the birthday celebration to show what Lawrence was, what Lawrence is, and the greater things that Lawrence will do in the future. We're going to be on the air until after midnight tonight, and we hope you'll join us, either by way of the television set or here on the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common. We expect a large crowd throughout the day, Herb reading the platters, a gong show, a little disco contest. We're going to have the Shaw Brothers, an awful lot of activity. We're going to talk to the people that made the entire weekend possible. And you know who the greatest person is that made this weekend possible? It's you, because you're the citizen of the city that has come down here to take part and to make the activities very, very successful. CTV3, Continental Cablevision, a service of Lawrence and Methuen, bringing you the activities of Lawrence's 125th anniversary celebration. We're broadcasting from the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common. And we'd like to say once again, thank you to the people that made our broadcast possible. To Arlington Trust Company, the bank with the green machine for money in a minute, any hour, any day. To Nasser Ford, see Nasser Ford for complete repair service, body work, and painting. Nasser Ford, first in service, first in sales. And to the nice people at McCartney's Men's Store. And I shop there quite a bit, and I can tell you that Tom and Bob McCartney are always ready to help you out. McCartney's was established in Lawrence on Essex Street back in 1880. They're 98 years young, and they're a part of the tradition and the history of the city of Lawrence. Also bringing you part of today's activities, the McCarthy Companies. The McCarthy Companies, comprised of 8 of the oldest and best-known insurance agencies in Greater Lawrence. The J.K. Norwood Agency from 1867. The George J. McCarthy Agency from 1890. The F.M.&T.E. Andrew Agency from 1904. And Arundel Flanagan McCoy Agency from 1924. Those are the fine people that made our broadcast from the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common possible, that have seen to it that we can bring you all of the activities. I'd like to take a moment now, and I'd like to talk to the senior citizens, okay? As always, in any event, Lawrence takes care of its senior citizens and sees to it that special events are planned so that the senior citizens themselves can take part. We're going to have a large dance contest here on the stage with senior citizens later today. And at 4 o'clock tonight, there has been arranged a bean supper which will take place at the Lawrence Senior Citizens Center. And that's located on Haverhill Street, directly across from the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common. And the tickets for that event are 50 cents. It is only for senior citizens. The tickets may be purchased at the information desk here at the Common or at the Senior Citizen Center itself. If you are a senior citizen and you'd like to join in on the festivities and maybe come down here and then stop at about 4 o'clock to have something to eat, there's a giant bean supper that's taking place in the Lawrence Senior Citizen Center, which is on Haverhill Street, and that's right across from the Common. I'd like to, if our director would for me, take our cameras and show us some of the area that surrounds the stage here, which is the central part of the total celebration. If we can do that, there's an awful lot going on behind me, and if you can remember, please, that directly behind me is the corner of Lawrence and Common Streets. Now that's straight off far in the distance, which means to the left is the Lawrence City Hall. And the Lawrence City Hall is directly to the left and almost the key point to our broadcast facility here on the Common. Our broadcast booth, Continental Cablevision, CTV3, with our engineers and our directors, they're all set up, and you can see them there. Our thanks to the Army Reserve. They have just been fantastic. They've helped us out by supplying us equipment, and our truck, our broadcast booth, is in effect the truck. You see a mini stage down there, our own CTV3 mini stage, and on the stage is Bruce Arnold. Now, Bruce has some people with him, and we're going to go down there and see if we can't get a little insight into exactly how this whole event was put together and how you, as a citizen of Lawrence, can take part in it. So, Bruce, you have Gene with you? Go ahead.
Okay, I do. I do have Gene O'Neill right here. Gene, a little breezy, huh?
Yeah, it is, Bruce. It's not going to dampen the festivities, though. We had a great time last night, and it looks really good for today.
You know, as we had mentioned earlier, we just went on the air about, say, 20 or 30 minutes ago, and the cooperation that you've been getting so far.
It's been fantastic, Bruce. Your fellows, all the power company guys, all the service clubs, the alderman's departments. It's a team effort. Everybody's pulling together, and they see that it's a really good thing.
Okay, Gene O'Neill, tell us a little bit about, how this all started out a few months ago.
Well, a few months ago, the mayor decided that he'd like to see something happen for the city. We're doing a lot of physical planning, as you know, Bruce, and we decided we wanted to do something for the people, some cultural types of things. So we got together and talked it over with the aldermen, and they all agreed that this would be a good thing. And from there, we formed a committee, and it evolved into this.
How many people would you say are participating in this activity over the weekend?
As far as people who are putting it together, there are literally hundreds of people working. As far as participants, last night we had quite a crowd, and it's hard to determine, but we're expecting quite a huge crowd today. But as I said, the service clubs are all pulling together, the charitable organizations are all pulling together. The power company has been fantastic. I have to point it out that they stayed here all last night and kept us on. And there's one fellow down here I'd like to bring on. Who's Frank Ahern right here. Frank?
Frank, come on over here, Frank. Give us a little chat over here.
Frank's from Dick Reming's crew, who really put it together for us, the electricians. They really worked very, very hard yesterday, and they're working hard today. And they, along with the power company, who's done an excellent job keeping us alive, have kept us going, and we can't give them enough kudos.
Oh, thank you. Don't you want to say anything?
Sure he does. Go ahead, Frank.
Come on over here. Where are you from, Frank?
Lawrence.
How long? Have you lived here all your life?
All my life.
Yeah. You got some people coming down here today?
Yeah, we're all working now. We're all here working now.
He looks like he wants to get back to work again.
Yeah, he is. They're good workers.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frank.
Very, very good. Of course, one of the big things today would be the Platters, their appearance this afternoon.
You're right, Bruce. That's sort of our highlight event. We figured we'd have a lot of varied type of entertainment, but we wanted to put on the Las Vegas type review. That's why we have such elaborate scaffolding and staging, as you notice. And they will be the highlight at 2 o'clock, and I think the weather will hold.
Oh yeah, it's just a little windy right now, and the little set that we've built here, it fell once, but I don't think we're going to have a problem because we've got about 5 guys behind it holding it up right now.
Well, I'll tell you,
Thought you were holding it up. What are you doing over here?
Your guys have worked very, very hard, and they've been here along, and I have to give them congratulations, and they're providing a much-needed service to the city of Lawrence.
Well, it's true, and Continental Cablevision, along with our update program, which is a weekly news magazine, we've had good response to it, and we hope to be on it for a long time and be able to do things like we're doing today. And of course, without the fine sponsors that we have for this particular program, it couldn't have been done.
I agree with you, Bruce. And as a matter of fact, one of your sponsors was working selling hot dogs last night, so that's the kind of spirit and collaboration we're getting.
I'll say. Where's Veronica Dooley? Is she around?
I'll bring her up here.
Where's Veronica Dooley?
Veronica?
Let's talk to her. There you go.
Veronica's worked very hard.
Yes. She's here she comes now.
I'll bring her up here.
Well, we can have her stand right there, I think. Okay. A very familiar lady in the city of Lawrence. You've lived here all your life, Veronica?
Not all of my life.
No?
When I was 12, I left and went to Ireland and spent 4.5 years there. And then I went to England and spent 4.5 years there. And in 1943, I came back from England on a trip that took 40 days from Wales to New York.
Took 40 days?
40 days.
Ooh, 40 days and 40 nights, my goodness. You have been a real active part of the 125th birthday celebration in Lawrence. You know, what's it feel like? You know, here it is now. All the planning is done, and now here's the real thing, Veronica.
It has been very, very exciting. I love a challenge. This has been a challenge. A small committee put it together. A small committee has worked very, very hard. I'm very proud, very excited. I love Lawrence, and I want to see it come back.
You look very nice today, Veronica.
Well, I don't know how I could possibly look very nice
You do.
today.
You really do.
I have to tell you one thing, Bruce. Everybody refers to Veronica as Ma Dooley.
Ma Dooley. Hi, Ma Dooley. That's it.
Well, I worry about these boys, you know, that stay up late at night.
Okay, Veronica, thank you very much for joining us. And Gene O'Neill, it's been a pleasure sitting here and talking with you and some of the members of your committee. We're going to be talking with you a little later on, so thanks again.
Fine, Bruce. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Dave, you got it.
Okay, here we are on the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common. We're at the main stage area, which will be our broadcast point throughout the day, right through until about midnight tonight. We do hope that you are planning on coming down and visiting the events. There's so much going on, as you heard Bruce and Veronica and Gene talking. There are activities for everybody, and it's something that has been put together, and well put together, I might add, okay, in order to have a good time. And that's want to enjoy ourselves. We want to have a good time. We want to meet with a lot of people. We want to meet with you. We'd like to have you come down because we'd like to see you as part of the permanent record of the city. See, that's what we're doing. Today, not only are we broadcasting, heroes are going to be taken and placed in the city's archives and kept for many, many years to come. You can see some of the activity going on. You know, this really is kind of a setup period. This is the time when everybody's getting things together. The Musicians Union will be here in just about 45 minutes. They'll be setting up here on stage, so that what we wanted to do was to go on early in order to give you the opportunity of seeing what it takes to put together just one day. By no means what it took to put together the whole weekend, but you'll see the sound people doing their thing. You'll see the lighting people getting ready. You'll see the power companies that are here setting up all of the electricity that's used, and it's quite a draw too, because not only do we have our broadcast facilities, but there is of course all the lighting for the stage shows tonight. All of the booths have various needs for electricity, and of course the big carnival that's going on. So it's really it's quite a thing. I've tried to think of how many words I could come up with to describe exactly what they've put together here on the Common. And it's very difficult because there's almost no word that totally describes what's been done. It's fantastic. It's a great cooperative effort. The radio rescue team is playing a major part in this weekend activity, and they're taking care of a lot of the things that we don't even see and we don't even hear about, and a lot of things that I'll guarantee that we don't even know go on, but they do help to make a successful event. And that's why it's so important that everybody pitches in and does their thing. Bruce Arnold's going to be talking later over at our stage area with some of the other people that are here and will be part of the celebration. I want to take a moment to again run down the activities for you that are going on so that you can see exactly what's happening today. All day long here on the Common there will be pony rides, free pony rides by the way for the kids, carnival rides, arts and crafts. There's going to be a book sale going on at the library, ethnic foods from all backgrounds that'll be here on the Common. And over at the library, the Merrimack Valley Textile Museum has brought some of their equipment over, and they're putting on a major display at the library, which is located on Lawrence Street at the corner of Haverhill Street. And the Merrimack Valley Textile Museum, of course, goes back and follows the history of the city way back 125 years. They can show us machines that were used then, the way things were done, what living was like, and that display will be held at the Lawrence Public Library on Lawrence Street, the corner of Haverhill Street. Right now, going on is a breakfast. The Lions Club is serving breakfast. The booths are just about ready to open, so that what we're doing is feeding many, many people, and of course giving a lot of people an opportunity of visiting the various booths and seeing what's going on over there. We have at 11 o'clock this morning, at 11 a.m. in the library is going to be a display that I think anyone who has any interest in the real background of the city of Lawrence should plan on taking in. What it's going to be is a display and kind of a history of the big 1912 strike. We've all heard of it, right? We all know it went on, and Lawrence being a mill city, that was a major problem in 1912 when all of the workers decided that they were going on strike. And what happened was a history was recorded, and it's going to be shown at the Lawrence Public Library here this morning at 11 o'clock, and that will be the strike of 1912. At 10 a.m. in front of the YMCA on Lawrence Street, this is 10 a.m. this morning, we will have a 12-mile road race beginning. It is AAU sanctioned. It will be a 12-mile road race, and the entrants have already signed up. There will be trophies, there will be medals for the winners, and at 2 o'clock this afternoon, Governor Dukakis, along with the Mayor Lefebvre, will be here to make the presentation of the trophies and the medals. That road race gets underway at 10 a.m. Now, it is impossible for us with our television cameras to completely cover that road race because we'd have to do an awful lot of traveling in a short period of time, and it would mean we'd need a real long cable. But we're not able to do that. WCCM 800 on your dial will be covering the road race, and all of the guys over there at Radio 8 are going to be on hand. They're going to take their mobile van, and they're going to follow the road race for all 12 miles, and they'll be broadcasting live over WCCM 800. So if you have a radio by and you'd like to hear the race while you're watching the activities here on Channel 3, please plan on doing that, okay? Use that radio to follow the 12-mile road race, AAU sanctioned, which starts at the Lawrence YMCA at 10 o'clock this morning, and that road race will be going 12 miles and ending in front of City Hall. It will be ending in front of City Hall, and they expect it to take about an hour and a half to run. So in an hour and a half, the people will be back, and then at 2 o'clock, we'll make the presentations. The Musicians Union concert will take place here on the Common at the main stage area at 10 o'clock, and at 11 o'clock, a pie eating contest on the mini stage, and the mini stage is located directly behind us here at the main stage area. And then a mini Oktoberfest from 11 till 2 p.m. will take place in the food tent. The food tent is also located here in the stage area, so there'll be a mini Oktoberfest. At noon, 12 o'clock, Bruce Arnold mentioned it earlier, I want to tell you again, Doggy Daddy, Ted Meisner, you've heard of him before. He'll be here, and he's going to do some demonstration for you on how to care for and groom your pets. He's also going to be holding a pet show. So if you out there have a pet and you'd like to bring that pet down to be shown, well, do so, because Doggy Daddy, Ted Meisner, will be here at 12 o'clock this afternoon. He'll be holding a pet show. And then there's also at 12 noon a bubblegum contest going on. I've asked for an explanation, and no one's been able to give me one. A bubblegum contest, we'll show you, but you'll have to learn with me because I'm not sure what it is myself. The Senior Citizens Dance exhibit will be taking place at 12:30. At 1 o'clock, another special presentation in the library, The Mills of Lawrence. And then a very special free concert at 2 o'clock this afternoon from 2 until 4, Herb Reed and the Platters. Something that, well, I don't think you're going to want to miss, all right? Herb Reed and the Platters, they've been around for a long time. They can very easily be deemed superstars, I think. They have lasted many, many years and played to a number of audiences. They are just as popular, just as good as they were 15 years ago when I remember viewing them. And that's from 2 until 4 this afternoon. And then at 4 o'clock, there's going to be a bean supper held over at the Senior Citizen Center. That's on Haverhill Street, right across from the Common. It's a 50-cent admission. It is only for senior citizens, so I might suggest that if you are a senior citizen and you'd like to plan on having dinner here tonight at the bean supper, then plan on coming down and purchasing your tickets at the information booth here on the Common or at the Senior Center itself. That's at 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's a bean supper. The cost is 50 cents. The tickets must be purchased in advance. At 4:30 on the mini stage, we have a karate exhibition. And then at 4:30 here on the main stage, a disco dance contest. And that's something that's going to be a lot of fun. We go ahead till tonight from 6 until 8, the Gong Show. And if you think you've seen gong shows before on television, let me tell you, the network has nothing on the game show, the Gong Show, that we're going to have here on the main stage of the Lawrence Campagnon Common. Okay? And then from 8 until 11 tonight, we will have with us the Shaw Brothers, Rick and Ron, RCA recording artists. The Shaw Brothers will be live here in concert on the main stage area of the Common. And also from 8 till 11, the Lawrence Choral Arts Singers will be here, and they'll be alternating with the Shaw Brothers. So you can see the day's events are plentiful. There's something for all ages. There's something to have fun with. We hope you'll join us. Come on down, the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common. It's 125 years young for the city of Lawrence, and we'd like to make you a part of that activity. I think it's about time we go over to our mini stage to the right of our main stage and see what Bruce Arnold is up to and get some more info on exactly what the 125th celebration is all about. Bruce?
What's your name again?
Oh, my name is Bruce Arnold, Vic.
Bruce
How are you?
Arnold, okay.
I'm talking with Captain Victor Rogers. He's with the Army Reserves. You're come all the way from Nashua, New Hampshire, Vic, huh?
That's correct, yes. We're here to support the medical aspect of the celebration for Lawrence. And
The Army Reserve really gets involved with different communities, don't they?
yes, they do. Actually, we are part of the community. As you know, we're civilians doing our duty on weekend training and trying to give what we can to our country.
Yeah.
And try to keep ourselves knowledgeable in areas of proficiency should there ever be a national disaster.
Okay, some of the things that you're going to be doing here today, do you people have a display here at all?
No, not as a display would be, actually. It's we are in medical support. We do have an ambulance here. We do have medical equipment. And basically what we're trying to do is give of our knowledge in case someone should be injured, in case someone should need evacuation to a hospital. We want to be able to assist in case anything should happen here.
So your crew has been here really from the beginning. Your weekend, in other words, will be right here for the 125th anniversary of the city of Lawrence.
Well, sir, we have people attached here for the weekend.
Yeah.
The majority of our training will be taking place at Fort Devens.
Have you seen many changes over the last few years as far as medical? I would imagine there are many changes. But you being a military person, of course, and you're in the Army Reserves, have you seen a change? How long have you been in, sir? Can you tell me?
13 years.
Has there really been a change?
Well, I still believe that as far as medical training, it hasn't changed that much. The aspect of being able to serve the Army as a medical support element hasn't really changed. It's theory. Medical proficiencies have changed their doctrine as far as training, but for the most part, when a soldier is injured, we still have to evacuate him, and the same theory still applies.
As you can see, there's a lot of movement around here. The electric power company is just getting, okay, good. They're leaving now. I guess everything should be all set there. But really, I know we've said this about 4 or 5 times already since we've been on the air. The cooperation that we've had here, not only from the military, but from the electric company, it's just been a fantastic first hour. Let me say that. And of course, you'll be here for the entertainment too, right? You can see that.
I think the entertainment portion, I'll be out at Devon's.
You're going to leave, right?
Yes, sir.
Listen,
I have 3 capable people I want to keep here.
Captain Rogers, I want to thank you very much for joining us here
Thank
as
you.
we all celebrate the birthday. Happy birthday to the city of Lawrence.
Very good.
And why don't you just clip this off, and you can climb down if you'd like. I know you're a very busy man.
Yes, sir.
So we'll see you later, Captain.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Have
you.
a nice day.
You too now. Hey, I guess we're going to get ready here. Dave, why don't you step up here for a couple of seconds? We're going to get ready. And they didn't kick you off the stage, did they?
No, but you know that this little cubbyhole here is a lot warmer than it is on that stage.
That's why I like it.
Oh, I mean, I'm standing up there in the wide open, and all I can get is the wind, and I'm freezing. I don't mind telling you, these tuxes are not the warmest things in the world. I even put my long underwear on underneath it. It didn't work.
They're getting ready. The band is getting ready.
The band is setting up now. It's the, as I mentioned from stage, the Lawrence Musicians Union, all right, which is sponsoring the band. And in reality, it is the Lawrence musicians from the union, okay? But it is the Peter Turnbull Orchestra. They are from Methuen. I was just talking to Pete, and they do a lot of 30s and 40s stuff.
Oh my goodness!
And
there
they,
goes a little sign there.
They do some 50s stuff. It is windy today, isn't it? Huh? I mean, thank God it is not raining. He's being good to us, and what he's doing is seeing to it that we're not going to have any rain, and I don't think you have to worry about that. I checked firsthand this morning with the Weather Bureau, and they said it's going to be, as I mentioned earlier, either partly cloudy or partly sunny, whether you're a pessimist or an optimist. But it's not going to rain. It's going to be windy and chilly, and tonight it's going to be cold. If it gets much more than it is now.
You know, I was talking earlier with Gene O'Neill, who's the chairman of the committee, and also Veronica Dooley. And I tell you, Gene has been up most of the night. He'll be here most of the day. And again, the cooperation that they have been getting has just been fantastic. Dave is leaving me. I'm all alone up here now. My goodness. We're setting up the band. The band will be on very shortly. We want you to come down here to the Lawrence Common. There's many things coming up. We've mentioned there's going to be a pie eating contest. They're going to have a bubble blowing contest at karate. We have the Platters coming. Then we have the Shaw Brothers tonight. And we have Bill Musgrave with us over here. Bill has been working real hard. Is the set secure?
I think so.
Is it all right? Okay, fine. But it's just going to be a whale of a day, and we've mentioned too that people who are watching us in Methuen, we want you to come down. This is not only for the citizens of Lawrence, it's for the citizens of the town of Methuen. And of course, a lot of the residents of Lawrence, some of their children now are living in Methuen, and we want to see them. People from Andover, from North Andover too. I guess we're going to go back to the stage now. Dave, it's all yours.
Okay, they told me they didn't like me being warm. Get back up on the stage and get where you belong. All right, here I am. We're up here. It is, you know, I might suggest you bring a sweater with you or wear a warm jacket. It is windy, but it's a beautiful day. The sky right now is completely clear. I can't see a cloud. And if it can hold like that, we're going to have a heck of a day. Oh, something else, all right? If you're going to plan on coming down, would you bring bring a chair or a blanket? Maybe you'd like to, sit down, and we have a green area here in front of the stage where all the performers are going to be. Bring a blanket or bring a chair. You might be a little bit more comfortable. Setting up right now is the orchestra that I was just talking about with Bruce, the Peter Turnbull Orchestra, and they are being sponsored in part by the Lawrence Musicians Union that are making sure that we have a full 2-hour concert here on the main stage today. There's just so many things going on. I really wish that we could take our cameras all over the common. That's impossible to do. So what we're going to try and do instead is to bring the people from all over the common down here to our camera area. So if you don't mind, while they're setting up, we'll just sit here and we'll talk a little bit. How you doing? Good to see you. Huh? Just see all the people coming by, and we're going to do that too, all right? We're going to try and... Oh, now don't run away just because we're on camera. Oh, son of a gun. We want to get everybody on camera before the day is out, all right? We might also mention too, okay, that there's a big chore here at the Common, all right? One major part of keeping this activity going smoothly is keeping the area clean. And appreciation goes out to Alderman Menery and his crews, because they have stationed a couple of trucks down here on the Common. They are right now, along with a number of CETA workers, making a complete sweep of the Common, cleaning up, picking up after last night, because we had, like I say, a couple of thousand people down here last night, and because of it, there's some stuff around that's got to be picked up. We want to make sure it's clean for you today. And that's why we're inviting you down here to the Lawrence Campagnon Memorial Common. The activities will take place from now right through, son of a gun, coffee time, huh? Thank you very much, I appreciate that. You're gonna keep me warm here, huh? All right, a little bit of coffee? Why not, huh? Excuse me a second. We're gonna get Bruce Arnold back up here in a minute, and we're gonna be talking to him. But I want to go over once again something that happened last night that if you're just joining us, I think you should know about. The official opening ceremonies that got the 125th birthday celebration underway. Last night at the Lawrence City Hall, Mayor Lefebvre hosted a cocktail party for the city officials, not only from Lawrence, but from surrounding communities. All those city, would you hold that for me, Kev? Thank you. All the city officials from surrounding communities were down for a large cocktail party. And we also saw the congressmen, some state officials, and others who have played a major part in Lawrence's 125-year history all come down, and they were at the cocktail party. And then at about 6 o'clock, the mayor came over with the city council here to the stage area to let off 125 balloons, sing happy birthday, and officially start the 125th birthday celebration. Now, the mayor brought with him and read a letter, personal letter from Jimmy Carter. And I saw that letter. You know, my first thought was, oh, well, we got a letter from the White House with a stamped signature. Well, that wasn't the case. It was a letter from the White House with a personal signature. And a letter written by President Carter wishing all of Lawrence a very happy 125th birthday, with the wish for another 125 years as the city continues to grow and plays a major part in the growth of our great country. So it was quite a ceremony. We had a lot of people joining us here on stage, and then of course last night the Mandela Folk Dance Group was here, along with the Melodia Latin Band and the Black Bottom Banjo Band. We had quite a few activities going on, and it was a lot of fun, okay? Now, let me once again say a word to you senior citizens, okay? At 4 o'clock this afternoon, 4 o'clock this afternoon, there will be a bean supper at the Lawrence Senior Citizens Center. And that center is located on Haverhill Street, right across from the Common. The tickets are 50 cents. They may be purchased at the center, or they may be purchased at the information booth here on the Common. There will be a bean supper, but it is only for senior citizens. And that will be at 4 o'clock this afternoon at the Senior Citizens Center. A free live concert from 2 until 4 with Herb Reed and the Platters. And from 8 until 11, a free live concert with the Shaw Brothers, RCA recording artists. It's quite a day planned. We hope that you'll make plans to come on down and join us. At 10 o'clock this morning, underway the AAU-sanctioned marathon race. It's a 12-mile race, which left actually from the Lawrence YMCA on Lawrence Street. They'll run about 12 miles. They expect the race to take about an hour to an hour and a half. And then the conclusion will be held just in front of City Hall, okay? So that we'll find out who the winners were and have them here on stage with us this afternoon. The Governor Dukakis, along with Mayor Lefebvre, will be here to make the presentation of the trophies and all of the medals and awards to those people that run first in the 12-mile race. And as I mentioned, we are unable to cover it with our cameras, but WCCM 800 on the dial is covering that race with their mobile van. The radio people over there will bring you up to date, let you know what's happening. They'll be covering the Lawrence activities from the Common, and hopefully we'll have them on the air with us a little bit later. WCCM broadcasting live for the marathon race. Let me remind you that you're watching Lawrence's 125th birthday celebration.